everyone, I'm sorry I haven't done a video in a very long time, but today I'm really excited because I'm back with a brand new fragrance in the UK. It is Rogue by Rihanna, and this is her fourth fragrance. I do have the other three fragrances and I have done a review of two of them. I did Rebel Flare and Nude, so please check those ones out. So yeah, I'll just get straight on with the review. So the box for this one is like this. It's a little bit more rectangular than her previous boxes. So you've got kind of like a brassy gold thing that says Rogue, and then you have this strange kind of, I feel like it's kind of almost like a leathery animal print, like maybe like a reptile print, I don't really know. So already from the box you can see that this is a move away from her previous fragrances, which came in that weird kind of heel shaped bottle. You can already tell that this is going to be more rectangular. The sizes for this are a little bit different because usually with celebrity perfumes you have the 30, the 50 and 100 milliliter. This one you don't, you have the 30, the 75 and the 125 milliliter. And this is the middle size, this is the 75 milliliter. So there's not much information on the box, it's pretty plain. We've just got the kind of generic ingredients on the back. So I will show you the bottle. Okay, so already the bottle for this is very kind of chunky. It says Rogue on it. At the bottom you have these weird kind of studs. You have 6 studs there, and you can kind of tell that they kind of go into the glass. They're almost like when you get kind of gold studs on like jacket collars or like on shoes and things. And then the lid is this kind of, it's the same pattern as the box, and it's textured. Again, I'm not really sure what it is. It's kind of like a reptile print. It's very chunky. I do like the bottle. I'm not, massively keen on it. I do. Her last fragrances divided people. You either loved the heel or you hated the heel. I liked them. I thought they were a really kind of nice, innovative design. I wouldn't have minded if she'd have brought out a fourth one in that design. But obviously this one already you can just see is a move away from all her previous fragrances. And so, when this first came out and I saw that it come out online, I didn't really know what to expect because with the other three they have all had kind of a very they've had things in common, whereas this one I just had no idea. And from the name Rogue, I think all her perfumes have had really good names so far, and they all kind of are words that would describe Rihanna herself. And I think this one's a really good one, Rogue. It just kind of gives you that kind of, it just kind of gives the impression that it's not a typical fragrance. It's a little bit kind of naughty, or a little bit wild. And I think that with her three previous fragrances, especially her first one, Rebel Flare, it was definitely very innovative. It didn't smell like anything else I've ever smelled before. It was just completely, it was just completely unique, and you can definitely, detect it on people straight away. And so with this one, I just wasn't sure what to expect. Okay, the first thing about the bottle is the sprayer. It's kind of the same, it's kind of more like a kind of rose, kind of a dusty rose pink. And the sprayer itself is a very soft spray, so it didn't kind of make the harsh kind of sound that other sprays do. It's very soft, so just put that on. I have got it on already. I've had it on for a few minutes, so I should be able to tell you more about the heart, and I've had it on all day as well, so the dry down as well I can comment on. Okay, so initially it's very sweet, and at first it's very lemony. And the lemon isn't a kind of bitter or kind of true to life lemon, it's more of that kind of sweet, candied lemon. I can imagine it being like a kind of lemon lollipop or something. It's not very, it's not sharp, it's loud, but it's just so sweet that you can't really describe it as sharp. If it had been a kind of true to life citrus kind of blast, then I think that It would be very different, but as it happens, it's not. It does kind of smell very candid. Like I said, it's just very sweet, and also you can kind of detect the musks already. You can just tell that it's a very warm fragrance. The official top notes are lemon blossom and cyclamen. I'm not really sure what kind of cyclamen brings to the table. It's not something that I am too familiar with, so I can't really comment on that. It is very pleasant initially. You know, with a lot of fragrances, and especially celebrity fragrances, you do kind of get that top, middle, base note of kind of sweet, fruity smells, and then kind of florals, and then kind of either gourmand fragrance, gourmand kind of notes at the bottom, or just musks. This is a combination of them two. So you do kind of get the generic kind of typical celebrity sweet opening, but it is a little bit more kind of it is a little bit different from most perfumes, because the notes do work very well together, and they're not kind of overly sweet. They're not kind of bubblegum sweet like a lot of fragrances. You know, you can already tell that this is going to be a little bit different because of those really harsh musks that you can already kind of detect. You know, as soon as you put this on. I'm just going to smell my other wrist. Sorry, I just kind of, my sentence just went off. I've not quite got to the heart yet, but I feel like the heart is kind of a continuation. It gets a little bit less sweet, and that's when the floral notes come in. So we have jasmine, rose, plum, and suede. The suede is very interesting, and it's definitely one of the kind of prominent notes, and definitely something that really makes this fragrance unique. I've never heard of suede being used in a fragrance before. I'm sure there are quite a few fragrances with it in, but you know, it's not something that you come across every day. And I think that, you know, that kind of bottle cap kind of reflects the suede, maybe, even though it does kind of initially remind me of like lizard print. You could also maybe get like a suede vibe from it, like, you know, a pair of suede boots or something. And I just think that suede is such a kind of rogue, you know, if you was going to make a perfume called Rogue, I think suede is like a note you would definitely put in there. Just because it's so interesting, and it has that kind of warm, but kind of leathery smell, but without being kind of too strong leather. It's kind of a soft leather kind of smell of suede, and it's very pleasant. If you've ever had suede shoes, they just smell so kind of fragrant. I'm not too sure about which floral notes come out. I'd say the plum maybe comes out the most. And if you remember her other fragrances, I think a few of them have used plum before. I think definitely Rebel Fleur and Rebelle have both used plum before. I'd say that you know, it's not too strong. I'd say definitely the lemon is still quite strong, and that kind of warm leathery suede is in there. But you know, it is a little bit more fruit. It does have different fruits in there, rather than just the lemon. I think that is the plum coming through. Plum is kind of, I think plum and suede would work really well together, because plum's kind of a ripe and kind of dark smelling fruit. It's not a kind of fresh burst kind of a fruit, or it's not kind of a gourmandy fruit like you know, berries and things work very well with notes like, you know, vanilla and things like that. I think the plum and the suede would just work so well together, because just plum is so kind of rich and dark and unusual, and I think plum has added a lot of character to a lot of her fragrances in the past, and this one is kind of no different. It still smells very warm, you just are still getting that kind of musk and also the amber coming through already, even if you've only been wearing this few minutes. I guess you kind of do get a little kind of a powdery element, which could be the rose, but it's not too strong. If you're kind of you're not a big floral lover, then I don't think that you're missing out much on this. It is very kind of dark and sensual, but with kind of that lemon. The twist, I think, makes it more accessible to a younger audience. I think without the lemon and that kind of candid top note, it would be a very different fragrance, and it wouldn't be as kind of acceptable. I don't think that Rihanna's fans, which are typically you know, kind of a little bit younger than sort of the celebrities, for example, I'd say, you know, Rihanna's fragrances are aimed at that kind of 18 to 30 age range, and I think without the lemon it might not be as accessible, and it would still be a very interesting fragrance. I think the lemon definitely characterises this, as well as the suede, the plum and base notes, which I'll come to next. So after you've been wearing this a very long time, and I do mean kind of, you know, 3 or 4 hours later, it becomes very close to the skin, and that's where you get the really warm notes that have been there all along, but they just kind of really come out. And you kind of do still have the lemon there. It doesn't really ever go away, and I think kind of the plum and suede are always there as well. But it just get a lot warmer and kind of a lot of more kind of deep sensual sweetness rather than that candied sweetness from the beginning. And so you just have musks, vanilla, patchouli, amber and woody notes. It is a very, I wouldn't say it's a, you know, kind of overly woody fragrance, but it is, it does have that kind of dark, almost, I wouldn't say it's a masculine fragrance, especially because of the top and heart notes, but I would say that when it comes to the base, it's not particularly female anymore. It could definitely be unisex at this point. If she had just done the perfume based on the base, it could definitely be unisex. It just smells very kind of, still just very sweet, but more musky and warm than anything else. If I had to compare it to another recent launch, it would perhaps be C by Armani, which I will be doing a review of very, very soon. I won't say overall it smells like that, but it is kind of along the same lines of, you've kind of got the really juicy top notes. Not juicy. Juice. You have the kind of quite a juicy top note. I'd say C by Armani is a bit more juicy because you've got kind of blackcurrant and things in there, but this one you have that kind of candied lemon. But the musk is very prominent throughout, and it's a kind of vanilla-y, warm musk, and both the fragrances have that. But I wouldn't say they were particularly, you know, if I did a side-by-side test, for example, which I could do if I really wanted, but I don't think that they would smell similar in that way. But just in terms of the structure of the fragrances, I think they're quite similar. I've kind of had this one on for 10 minutes now, 12 minutes, something like that. But I still do have the lemon, so the lemon does last for a very long time. This one I've had a little bit longer and kind of trying to warm up to really detect it. I'm definitely getting the suede now. If you kind of rub it, it's really strange. If you rub it, I feel like the suede comes out a lot more, and it just feel like kind of genuine suede. Like you can imagine footwear smelling like this, like kind of brand new footwear, obviously. Oh, it's so good. So yeah, in the base, I mean, the vanilla isn't a typical gourmand, celebrity, fruity, floral vanilla. It blends with the sorry, my voice is completely gone. It blends, I'd say, in particular with the amber and the woods and the suede to you know, it's kind of like the vanilla accompanies the musk rather than the other way around. It's not like it's a vanilla central dry down, I'd say it's musky with kind of a small vanilla hint. C is definitely more vanilla than this, I would say. And you do still have the remnants of that lemon even in the dry down. It's not like it just dries down to a typical celebrity fruity floral vanilla kind of warm kind of sweet base. It's a lot more warm than typical dry downs because of the amber, I'm guessing. And it's just you know, very sensual and different. Okay, so overall I would say that this fragrance is very good. It does last a decent time. I put it on earlier and then I had a nap, and when I woke up I could still smell it a few hours later. It was still very strong. The sizing I think is interesting because it is very different to have a 75ml bottle and so like 50ml, which would usually be the middle size. I feel like this fragrance isn't as characterised as her other fragrances, as in, you know, the other fragrances, if you smelt them, you would recognise them straight away. You'd say, oh, that's, you know, by Rihanna. I'd say that this one, although I can definitely imagine Rihanna wearing this, I think that's the great thing about Rihanna's fragrances is you can imagine her wearing all of them, especially the first one, Rebel Flare. Like, when you wear that, you just feel like Rihanna. Even though, you know, I just look so different to Rihanna, you do feel like that kind of rebellious personality. I'd say that this one, although it is a little bit it does have the same kind of rebellious vibe, I'd say it's not as defined as her other fragrance, especially the first two, and especially Rebel Flare, which was just outstanding. I'd say overall as a fragrance, I do prefer this to Rebel Flare though. I think Rebel Flare's hard to wear kind of all the time. It's kind of something that I save for going out, or something when I'm going to be drinking and clubbing, or, you know, going out with friends. Whereas this one, I feel like you could wear it every day if you wanted a signature fragrance but still smell sensual and, you know, kind of a little bit fruity, but mainly just kind of sensual, and you still wanted to have that Rihanna fragrance feel. I think that this one's a good compromise, because you could wear this day or night. It's kind of light enough to wear during the day, but it's still sensual, so you could wear it at night as well. But again, it's just not as characterised as her other fragrances. It has a direction definitely, and it just kind of it just hit the aim. The target of this is obviously to kind of give off this kind of rogue, kind of bad vibe, and it just gives that. But I'd say the other fragrances hit their target a little bit better. Well, not so much that, it's just they're just more, I'll say all her fragrances hit the target. They've all done what the kind of title of the perfume has said that they're going to do. But this one is just not as, you know, just well defined. I can't really describe it as anything else. It's just not as recognisable as her other fragrances, or as unique as her other fragrances. But that's not to say that it isn't unique. I'd say of the recent celebrity perfumes I've smelt over the last kind of half year or so, this is one of the better ones. Rihanna's perfumes never disappoint. I feel like people might be more disappointed with this one than her other ones, but for me personally, I do still really like it, and you know, I could definitely wear this. I could find a lot of time that I could wear this, and like I said before, you can imagine Rihanna wearing this. But in terms of it being completely rogue, I would say it's not kind of offensive in the way that you'd expect a perfume called Rogue to be. It doesn't make me want to kind of storm the Bastille with bayonets, or kind of rob people on the highway. Turpin reference. When I think of rogues, I think of kind of dandy highwaymen for some reason, and in suede boots or leather boots. This perfume doesn't really bring to mind that, but it is, you know, a very nice perfume. I'm not really too sure about other products. I'll just have a quick look to see. It's an Eau de Parfum, by the way, I should say. It doesn't really say if there's any products. I'm guessing because it's early days, there might not be a shower gel or body lotion yet, but that might be something that is brought out. I feel like in terms of targeting, this one isn't, I feel like this one, without looking at any figures or anything, I feel like it's not going to do as well as some other fragrances, just because the bottle's not as recognisable as the other ones, and again, I think it will divide people on whether or not they like it, even though it is kind of not completely offensive. I think that because the other three had such a clear target audience and just a clear definition of what they wanted to be, you know, I think they're going to be a better seller than this one. Okay, so I can't really think of anything else to say about this. It's a good perfume. Have a smell if you're out and about and you can come across it. I would recommend anyone who likes it buying it, because the pricing is good as always with Rihanna's perfumes, and yeah, it's a good product. So thank you very much for watching. I have so many perfumes to get through. I could just list a few. I need to do the Bug by Lush. I need to do C by Armani. I have the body lotion to go with that as well. I have La Dandy by Dorsey. Now that really is a kind of highwayman fragrance, or highwoman fragrance. Highwoman? Dandy highwoman. It doesn't really sound the same as a highwayman. Highwayman. I don't know. What else do I have to do? Can't really think of anything else, but I'm sure I've got loads of perfumes that I really need to review desperately. Soon I'm going to be making a kind of, well, the plan is to make a series of videos based on kind of cult classics, especially kind of modern cult classics. That will include some, that'll definitely include some celebrity perfumes, you know, fragrances which, although they haven't been out for a very long time, have already gained kind of cult status, and it's a kind of staple must-have within kind of all perfume lovers' wardrobes. I'm going to be doing a review of the perfumes that I have that I think are modern cult classics. So once I get kind of all the videos out the way that I need to do my new fragrances, hopefully I'll get around to doing that, and that'll be something that hopefully people will like, because it's something that I'm definitely looking forward to doing. Yeah, I'm always fascinated by what makes a perfume kind of have that cult status, and you know, I'm just looking forward to exploring that area a little bit more. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon, hopefully, for some new videos. Thank you. Bye.